Hey guys, it's Sam, and these are my 2025 reading goals. So this year is looking pretty similar to last year with a slight change in what I'm prioritizing, but a lot of similar themes here. So I'm still prioritizing the books on my shelf, and in addition to that, I want to get a lot of series read in 2025. So I'm still gonna be doing my like 0 by 2026, whatever. I'm not really trying to get to 0. I'm trying to get to like under 10, and if 0 happens, cool. But what I really want to do is catch up on and complete a lot of series this year. The last couple of years, I've gotten like about 5 series each year, and I think I forget which year it was. I want to say it was like 2021, maybe 2020. I finished like 11 series, and I loved that. So we're kind of turning the focus back to that again. So first off, I'm going to talk about the prioritizing the TBR part. Right now, I have 46 books on my physical TBR. 4 of those are left over from my TBR from last year, so I do want to prioritize those 4 books. It's 48 total books with rereads because there is one series that is on my TBR, but that I've read the first 2 books for. That is the 12 Kings and Shir Kai by Bradley Baleo. So I want to reread those first 2 books that I've already read and then continue with that series. I also have Scott Lynch's The Lies of Locke Lamora, but I will not be rereading that series until we have an announcement of a date. I'm not even putting it on my most anticipated list. No. So that series is technically on my TBR. I have the 3rd book in the series on my physical TBR, but I'm not counting that until when and if we get an announcement. I did pretty good on this last year. I mean, again, I was only down to 4 books that I wanted to get read. So if I do that again this year, I'll be very happy. But it's nice to have that I check in with, that I'm making sure I'm prioritizing. I mean, last year I had only read like 16 books on the physical TBR by I think like August or something, and then I just powered through a bunch of them at the end of the year. Like, I can do it if I put my mind to it. So the next thing is series, and this actually goes in like tandem with the TBR stuff because I'm especially prioritizing series in which I own the final books to catch up with or to finish on my physical TBR. So these goals are not in conflict with each other. So there are 7 series that have the final books on the physical TBR for me to complete that I'm going to be prioritizing, especially in the first half of the year. That is The First Sister by Lyndon A. Lewis. I have the last book, The Last Hero, to finish. Then Heavenly Tyrant by Siren J. Zhao. This I didn't even realize came out, and then I was at the bookstore and I was like, what? And it just came out like 2 days before. Because being off social media, I like don't see things like this. I thought that this had gotten delayed even further into like 2026. So finishing this to complete the series. I also might reread the first book since it's been a minute. So technically we would add 1 more book for the physical TBR, but whatever. Then we have The Lotus Empire by Tasha Suri, which is the final book in the Burning Kingdom series. The Tyranny of Faith and The Trials of Empire by Richard Swan, which are the last 2 books in the Empire of the Wolf series. The Liar's Knot and Labyrinth's Heart by M.A. Carrick, which are the final 2 books in the Rook and the Rose series. For the Throne by Hannah Witten, which is the last book in the For the Throne duology, Wilderwood duology. I also might reread the first book again in this, but those will be done in audio, which is a little bit easier. And finally, The Atlas Complex by Olivia Blake, which is the final book in the, I think it's just called the Atlas trilogy. So those are the books that are on the top of my TBR, especially for the first half of the year. Now, I don't tend to kind of talk about my full year at the beginning of the year, but this year I kind of feel like I can. So while this is the first half of the year's goals, the second half of the year / like stretch goals I also have. So the latter half of the year, if I finish all of those last installments and catch up with a lot of those series, then I want to finish all of the series that are completed as of 1/1 that I've started. So if it's a completed series as of 1/1 and I've started it as of 1/1, then I want to finish it this year, and that will probably be a later half of the year goal. Just for context, 15 of my ongoing currently reading series are completed, and like I mentioned, 9 of those are ones I have all the installments for. So for the latter half of the year, I want to focus on finishing The Expanse, which I might honestly finish earlier because I listened to those on audio. So I think I have 3 books left, I want to say. Yes, I have 3 books left in The Expanse. Then complete The Arc of the Scythe by Neil Shusterman. This is the YA series about like death, Reapers, I think they're called. It's like a YA dystopian utopia kind of thing. I read the first book. I might reread it. Again, I think I would listen to these on audio. Then we have The Faithful and the Fallen series by John Gwynne. I've read the first one, Malice. I own the second one, forgetting the name of, and then there's 2 more after that. So that would be 3 total. Not sure if that would totally happen, but at least make some progress on that. Then Mistborn Era 2. I've read the first 2, and then there's, what, 2 more? Because I think there's 4 total in the Mistborn series. Belladonna series by Adeline Grace. I read the first one and I'd read the next 2. The Terra Ignata series by Ada Palmer. Those I'm also listening to on audio, so I could see myself getting through those in the first half of the year also. There's 2 more left in that series. And the Radiant Emperor series by, oh my god, I'm forgetting their name. it's this book. That I'll be finishing that one up as well. And I just remembered that I have another series on my shelf that is completed that I've started that I have the last 2 books for. So we're adding one more. The Last Watch series by J.S. Dews. So the Relentless Legion and the Exiled Fleet, finishing those first half of the year as well. So yeah, lots of series to complete the first half of the year, and then stretch goals for books that I don't actually own for the second half. And then I was also added this like extra stretch goal. I don't think this is actually going to happen. Having now talked about all of these series, it's way easier to envision this when you're writing it out, and then when you talk about it, you're like, oh wait. But an extra stretch goal would be to finish the Kate Daniels series, which again, I don't think would happen, but I would actually reread book 3, which is the last one that I've read, and then continue from there. These are really good to fly through. I do miss the series. I at least want to read a few more in the series if I don't finish it this year. But yeah, make some progress. And this doesn't even count, like, I'm going to also be starting new series this year and everything else, but I just want to be a little more caught up on series and things as far as what I've started. Because right now, at the beginning of the year, I've completed 71 total series in my time recording my series and things. And I think I went back before even book 2 and wrote down some series that I had read. Caught up on 9, and then I have 28 unfinished that are either series that I could catch up on or that are totally completed. So yeah, want to get that 28 number down. Yeah, those are my goals for 2025. Comment down below, let me know some of your reading goals. I don't even mention some of the things that I know are going to happen. Like, I always set my goal to 52 books in a year, usually bump it up to 75 halfway through the year if I'm doing good. So I feel like that's going to happen naturally. I also try to read at least 15 minutes a day. That tends to happen. I'm currently on Storygraph on a 152-day streak. The last time that I didn't do it was on my birthday because I was so busy. So yeah, those things always happen. But yeah, let me know what your goals are, series goals in particular, and I'll be doing my series quarterly check-in about this to keep myself accountable. So look forward to my check-ins throughout the year on that as well. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see all you guys soon. Bye.